Third video, Daryl. Sorry about this, my friend. Every time I keep looking at San Fernando Valley, I've lived out there for 38 years, so it's a hell of a lot of memories and a hell of a lot of feelings I go through on this one. It's time index right now. It's 1:44 in the morning, still Wednesday, the 3rd of January, 2024. So yeah, it was. I was living in this home for about 11 to 12 years, and it was a long time that I ever actually lived in the house. I've been a renter all my life. My family and I bounced from place to place and place in the San Fernando Valley for 38 years. Sometimes living in 1 or 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 or 12 years. That was a lifetime. That was home. So 94 kicks in. I'm a I'm a worker in an office building at the far west end of the San Fernando Valley called Warner Center or Woodland Hills / Warner Center. It's a business area. It's also a shopping area. We had a mall out there and a couple of malls, but it was a major area. Even my beloved Pierce College got nailed by the damn quake and had to get had the place rearranged. God, this place was a nightmare. And there she is, the tower. It's supposed to be twin towers. Where the hell was that place at? There they are, the twin knobs. They look like knobs too. Tall buildings, 20, 24 stories. Pretty tall. It was said that the Trillium complex, actually the two buildings, were on rollers. So every time there was an earthquake hitting, they'd roll with it. They'd shake. But they wouldn't fall and collapse. No, everything else around him did. God. We had buildings and complexes that kind of collapsed. They had to rebuild the whole damn thing. It took them years. But I worked in that place temporarily, if I looked at it correctly, about 3 or 4 months, and then I got kicked out. Weyhauser Mortgage Company needed file clerks in there, and schlubs. 4:30 in the morning. I thought it was 4:31 in the morning, but the quake actually hit 4:30. I didn't feel it until about 4. I did feel it about 4:30. I thought it was 4:31 in the morning, according to my damn clock during that time. And I'm waking up saying, "What the hell?" Well, actually, it was worse than that. And then I'm feeling the earthquake. I'm like, "This is fun." I'm thinking of a movie line that just came into my head. It was a Star Trek film, Undiscovered Country. I loved that film. And that phrase just stuck in my head during those. This, this is fun. Poor McCoy getting in the bridge and getting the bridge blasted around him. But that quake. They said the center of the quake was out in Northridge, but it was widely contested about where the damn thing was at. It was said that we were about a few blocks away from ground zero because it emanated from Reseda, the first primary, because it was a hidden thrust fault. Nobody knew about this one. No geologist knew about it because there was no record of this thing. It just sprung out. It just popped. It just went, put, and then everything else went hell in a handbasket. The energy of that damn pop was spread all over the place. It was widespread damage on this damn thing. Most of it, they were saying, happening in different areas that they could actually get camera crews on. I mean, they had camera crews going as far as Granada Hills and the northern end of the San Fernando Valley. And you saw, if you're catching some of the vids on the YouTube on this one, you had fire and flood at the same time. You had broken gas mains and you had broken water mains. Gas mains are flaming like crazy. You're seeing houses catching on fire, but you see a lot of water on the ground. They can't even put the damn fire out because of that. There's no water pressure. So Granada Hills in certain areas was being torched like crazy. The other houses got okay, fine. Reseda Boulevard. There was an apartment complex, Northridge Meadows, they called it. A three-story with an underground parking or above parking. The first level was just the parking, and the place was on stilts and supports. They thought it was going to be lasting until, from the '71 quake. From the information they had, they thought it was pretty structurally sound. Yep. Boom, 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 boom. The reporters were out there that were there for hours and days on end on that one. But you were talking about a scared nightmare to see. My brother had gotten about 10, 15 years ago the portable Panasonic television with an AM FM radio on it. It was a battery eater. It eats up the D cells like crazy. But this thing was our only link to the outside world to see what the hell was going on. We didn't have the cell phone technology. We had landlines on that one. So we had no communications with anybody except when we could try doing long distance, and then maybe we could try calling somebody. We had calls from Bell, but unfortunately Bell's would they felt the '94 quake, and they were still getting rattled. I mean, there was Daryl. It's like seeing a nightmare coming up suddenly and thrusting your world into a new asshole. You see storms coming. You hear them through the weather forecasters. You can see the stuff and try to prepare for it. You had time for this. Earthquakes are scary sons of bitches. We're talking about earth movement. We have never been able to have any scanners or anything else to predict earth movement as much. We have warning systems, but it doesn't help much. It's the most terrifying thing I could ever go through. I was a young kid when '71 Sylmar kicked in. They thought the Van Orman Dam was going to be bursting up. Sylmar was in the northeastern section of the San Fernando Valley. If you happen to look on the Google Maps of San Fernando Valley, you go through the northern area, you see this blue spot. Well, that's the Van Orman Dam. They were worried about it because there was cracks in the foundations and cracks along the dam area. They thought that area was going to flood the entire valley. There's a lot of cubic water in that damn thing, too. It would have flooded out a lot of homes. But it held. But the earthquake was up there, well beyond a 6.5. And we had a hospital up there that was FUBAR. Royal FUBAR on that one. Yeah, if I'm going to be using the actual terminology for FUBAR, you'd understand about that one, my friend. I was living in North Hollywood with a family. Ben, Owen, and Ethel. Apartment complex, top level. It was just a two level. We had an underground, but we didn't collapse, thank God. But it shook the place really damn good. I mean, it's just, oh my God, it shook. We had a swimming pool right in the middle of the apartment, the one of Van Owen and Ethel, and it flooded out one of the apartments down below. Flooded out the manager's apartment. I think her name was Ruby Cloud. God rest her and Cy Cloud. God rest their souls. Native Americans. I think they were Navajo or Cherokee. I'm not quite sure which. But they were cool people. I love those people. I did. When they left and other management came over, they moved to a trailer home somewhere in the Sylmar area. And of course, Southern California being prone for fires. God. Other videos for this one. Other videos for this one. I have to get out of this damn thing here. I mean, this is up before 38 years on this one. So 94 earthquake kicks, and all hell breaks loose. I mean, the valley looked like it was going to be breaking itself apart. There was fires, floods, apartment houses. Closer to the epicenter, the damage was more centered, but it was still widespread. They were still having damages out in Ventura County, northern end. Antelope Valley, the Lancaster and Palmdale area got shaken up pretty damn good. They were reporting damages during 94. San Gabriel, Los Angeles, they felt it all the way to San Diego, but San Diego didn't get the damage. They just felt it. That's about it. Hell, Santa Cruz, actually Catalina, they were feeling it. I don't know what kind of damage they actually had suffered through. But for the most part, the San Fernando Valley, it took billions and billions of dollars just to get that place back in somewhat working order. You should have seen the shopping centers, my God, and some of the office complexes. There was an office complex along Roscoe and Reseda area. My mother went there for medical services at that point. That front, my God, dude, it was just like somebody had taken a knife and did a jagged edge cut on the front end of that damn building, and it tore it down. The rest of the structure was just ragged and still staying there. And then there was Granada Hills Hospital, just outright collapsed on itself. Granada Hills Hospital was right by the shopping area that I used to work in on Devonshire and Balboa. It was also an emergency room. Well, it was. They moved all their emergency stuff outside. They also had a hospice. Well, people were dying to get in, and they were definitely dead coming out. Shit. Northridge Mall. CSUN. Cal State Northridge. One of the gemstone state colleges we had out there. They suffered. But there was nothing like what I seen for the Northridge Mall. We used to have, at one time, uh, covered parking areas. I mean, massive ones. We used to have in the mall um, indoor movie theater, general cinema, with general movie cinema. We'd see, what was it, general cinema movies? I don't know, something like that. It was general cinema, basically. We'd see movies. Even with their first runs, we'd see the movies in there. It was Pacific, when we had the movie company out there, movie chain, we had it along Parthenia and Tampa area as well. We had a movie theater out there. The This survived barely, but it survived. They had to do some reconstruction on that damn thing. But the Northridge Mall, we had the store called Bullock's. Half of its front was ripped off. We also had a collapse concerning about the parking structures out in CSUN. They actually had a 2 or 3 stacker, and it just, not to mention, Northridge Mall did the same damn thing. We had a covered parking areas right by Sears. Sears was one of the anchor stores on the southern end of it, of the Northridge Fashion Center. And then that went. We didn't have the open air at the northern end at one time. We never did. We had a Bullock store right there. Even they suffered a bit of damage in there. Everything was covered until they did remodifications and got rid of the damn Bullock store in Broadway too. God, no. Macy's bought Bullocks. They had to do some reconstruction on that one. But they kept they kept and restructured the what was left of the parking structures we had. The covered parking structures. What a nightmare. Price gouging. Price gouging. Check this one out. Every time there was a major quake out there, they do price gouging left and right until they passed laws 96, 97, I think, concerning about the price gouging situation. When there was an earthquake, the 94 quake kicked in, we had these mom and pop stores charging $15, $20 for a gallon of milk, $20 for a pack of batteries, $10 for a loaf of bread. We had the stores on the first day giving out food because they didn't have their freezers and refrigerators working during those days. Meats, if you actually had the ice and the you have ice chest, they'd be giving those damn things out if you're lucky enough. And the bread and other staples. Everyone was trying to chip in the San Fernando Valley to help with the people, and National Guard came out, made parks into temporary shelters for people. My God, if you traveled along some of the streets when you were actually able to, dude, we saw bivouacs in different areas. One particular section in Northridge Mall would be referring people over to Topanga because they weren't damaged as badly, but outside they actually had red crosses up and down the area. We had sections where people got their replacement glasses. My brother got replacement glasses. He got a certificate after he got his eyes tested, and he went over to Lens Crafters and they got him a new pair of glasses. These businesses tried to help each other out, except for some of these other mom and pop stores for like 7-Elevens and stuff like that. The convenience stores, they're charging left and right. Not to mention for the gas. Not to mention for the gas. They'd be ripping off people left and right. I mean, the consumers were screaming and yelling. Cops couldn't do a damn shit about it, but the lawmakers were doing it. It's like about a year or two after the whole thing happened, and they were still getting the aftershocks, but those aftershocks gone all the way through Sacramento, and they put out the laws. No price gouging. 10% above price, and that's about it during an emergency crisis. But nothing above that. And if you did, you're busted. Citations, how they shut the place down. They weren't kidding during those days. They were not kidding. My home should have been red tagged. The landlord had discovered that our house was red tagged, or going to be red tagged if they actually did an inspection to it. And they were walking up and down areas. Somehow, my landlord made sure that we lived in this house, even after. I mean, we did leave in 2005. So, yeah. But we dealt with a foundation shifted. My mother's bathroom sunk. We had a back area that had cracks in the foundation, but still there. And so it was a little bit uneven in the room that we actually had the laundry and the bathroom, but they were still functional. We had leach lines and we had septic tank. They had to be dug up and replaced. There was a major fiasco on that one. Stunk like crazy too. But the major thing that took a hit, we had a garage that was still standing up, but then it had to be supported by beams holding it together. After about 10 years, it didn't collapse. But I imagine they had to get that damn thing replaced when they had new owners coming on. We ate outside. The first night we were all sleeping in the living room. The windows didn't break. They rattled, but they didn't break. I was afraid of going to bed in my bedroom, but I had in my bedroom bookcase, A metal bookcase. It trapped me. In my bedroom, we had a small hallway. Okay, let me see if I can get this right here. We had the living room. Then, if I'm looking at it from the living room point of view, we had a door that led into the little hallway. On the right hand side, we had the bathroom. On this side here, we had Ma's bedroom with the bathroom attached to it. And that section was my bedroom. And the door opened inwards, meaning that nobody could sneak into me, sneak in there. But in that particular bedroom I had, windows were right here, closet right here, foyer, or I think that either swung this way or swung that way. I think it swung that way. I think so. All I know is along the area before I got into my closet, there was this metal book stand full of books and junk and stuff. I mean, hell, when you go right around the corner and you get into my bedroom, you get to see the damn thing there. But because of the earthquake happening, the bookcase went down this way. My bed was at the far corner, and my dresser drawers were right over here. It was basically an empty area here. But I had the windows that were facing the west, facing sunset. My brother had to push that damn thing out of the way to get me out. In my mother's bedroom, we actually had our three dogs, and they were scared as hell. The back porch had a sliding glass door. We had, if I was going to be pointing the point of view from the living room, and I'm going to be facing it to the back end of the place. So let me see if I can describe it, okay? From the main entrance, that would be the couch. There was a love seat. By the entrance, there was a chair. We had the television. We had the alley. Actually, we had yeah, the area where the bedrooms and the bathrooms were. And we had a wall. And on that opposite end of the wall was the kitchen, which left this open area here. So there was a bedroom off to the side because of a certain wall partition here, and that opened up to my mother's office. Left us a little central corridor for the dining room. We could put a dining room table in that area. Right along the wall, that short short space, we had that full of dishes, priceless dishes. We had in my mother's office, and here's a little dining area here. My mother's office, she had bookcases, her computer station, computer over here with another computer station over here. We had another couch or love seat over here. We had a television. We had the back wall with the air conditioner over here. But we had right along the wall sides, uh, we had shelves, decorative shelves with teacups you couldn't find anywhere else, collectibles, and they had to be treated with kid gloves, even worse than that. I had to be very, very careful of those things. Those things were priceless during those days. And of course, in the kitchen, we had a horseshoe. We had a horseshoe. We had sliding glass door, and we had a big ass yard for the backyard, enclosed in case no dog would be able to get the hell out of there. But they can run around like crazy and be hard as hell to catch her. Now, 94 Quake is kicking in at this point over here. I'm sorry, this is a long ass video on this one here, so bear with me on this. 94 Quake is catching in. My brother's bedroom is over here. No, actually, I'll take that back. He was sleeping in the spare room we actually had, where there was the attached shower and the washroom, and that was right next to Ma's bathroom, but they separated by wall exteriors. So in this place, Dave's running through barefooted. Barefooted. We have this fall down. Oh, actually, the doors sprung open, and we had dishes going out and scattering about. There was crystal glasses. There were crystal glasses, chalices, scattered, scattered on the ground. Everything's vibrating. Ma's screaming, "Get my dogs, get my dogs, get my dogs." She's on the bed. Her bed's shifting a bit here and there, but she's on the bed. Nothing's coming down on her. We had a flat roof, by the way. We had a flat roof for the house. A bunkhouse, they called it a long time ago. I'll probably do videos on this one a little bit later. But in that particular house, come on. It was just basically a bunkhouse. But it was a nice bunkhouse, too. Okay, so David's going through the glass again. He's trying to get the dogs, bring them back into Mom's bedroom. And then, "John, where the hell are you?" "I'm trapped, damn it. I can't get this damn thing to move." "All right, give me a second." So Ma's got the dogs, got them leashed. She's got them. We're going through the main quake, and then we're going through the aftershocks. I mean, there was pause between the aftershocks on that one. Damn thing. We're hearing people screaming and yelling outside. But we're trying to keep it together. Hardly. Oh, Dave pushes the damn thing out, gets me out of the way. Ma gets over to the couch with the dogs. They're huddled with her in pure fright and fear. She's got the leashes on them. "Dave, where's your shoes?" I, he's looking at his feet, not a mark on them. The glass was vibrating like crazy, so apparently it's like he flew over the damage. And I looked in the dining room. The shelves were down, broken as hell. The glasses, the teacups were smashed beyond recognition. The books were off the damn shelves left and right. We had dishes that were in the cabinets. Some of them actually stayed in there. The rest of them didn't. The kitchen door was still closed at that time. Well, we had no power. We grabbed the lights, whatever we could, and started, using flashlights like crazy on that one. Oh my God. David went out to see after Ma was settled. He says, "Come on, John. All right, we're going. We'll go to the neighbors on the left, on the corner of Claire and Cohasset." "You guys okay? You guys okay?" "You're fine. Go check in the guys across the street over here." "Okay, you guys okay? You guys okay?" You're up and down the street we go. Some people made it, some of the others didn't. "Hey, we don't know where the hell we're going to go. Come back in here." Okay. We seemed to be the only place that was having a roof with no issues. Inside, yeah, it was a mess like hell, but so we had several people aboard, inside for a while. Outside in the backyard, we actually had our barbecues going on. We had coal, we had foil to put over the grates. We actually fixed coffee. Cowboy coffee. We used up all the food that we had. And Dave and I had to go out for more. Everyone else was trying to assess the damages that they actually had. Dave made friends up and down the neighborhood. But before the quake happened, he was making friends up and down the neighborhood. So we had people to talk to from time to time. For meeting them on the street, that is. But they wouldn't come to the door as much, though. Cops are still doing the patrols. Choppers are still in the air. News choppers are still looking for something to scare the frack out of people. While we were watching things about 2 or 3 days into the quake, I mean, the first night, Daryl, I was terrified of going back into my bedroom, and I just slept on the couch. I slept sitting up. Got a neck ache after that. Until my brother convinced me it was safe to go back in my bedroom, and I did. I'm looking at all the damn stuff I had to clean up. Actually, I think I did clean that stuff up. But I just scared shitless of what the hell happened. It was like weeks after when I was in this particular job. We were still waiting for the Trillium Center to be working. And my brother and I are doing commute over to Century City, one of the office complex in that area. Not the major tall rises, but it was just a two-story building. And the White House set up temporary functioning for their mortgage area. They still needed office slubs. So we did commuting over the 405 and headed into Century City. By the time they got the message concerning about the Trillium building working, we went back over there. But I had to make sure that whatever area I was in, I had a go bag. I was ready to get the hell out. And I made this contraption of a sensor of sorts. Just simple. You take one of the light sticks you can use for emergency, but you have some string attached to it. And with the temporary walls that they actually had, foldable ones that you can make into different configurations, and some of those slots that they actually had, I had hooked up where I had the light hanging like this. If there was going to be any major movements, I wanted to see what the hell was going on. Whether or not it was foot traffic or if it was a major quake. And if it was a major quake, I'm heading down to the damn desks and just hide for just hide period. I can't tell you how terrifying it was. My blood pressure still rises on those days. It got to a point where I just got blasé about the whole damn anniversary. I still remembered it, but I still had to talk about it. I lived through it. I lived through the 71. We had the Landers quake a few years after that. Or was it a few years earlier than that? But Landers was nothing compared to 94. Landers was a walk in the park. Actually, it happened 92. Yeah, it happened before Northridge. I'll take that back. Inland Empire. 7.3. Son of a bitch. Son of a frickin' bitch. I forgot about that one. I forgot about that one. Another one for another time.